Thanks, Dan and Chris, for that fascinating report on extracting the isotope from molecular compounds. Now on to bigger things.
An amazing story from our two brilliant scientists. However, we must now move on to our main story for tonight. Our news station has just secured an interview with one of the most outspoken and eminent men today, Huey Long.
A quick word from our sponsors. Okay, enough of that.
Right.
We like to have fun here, but that's too much. Take your seats, everyone. Without further ado, please welcome Mr. Huey Long. Come on. Pleasure to have you, Mr. Huey Long.
Call me Hugh.
Welcome to the show.
So, Mr. Long, how are you doing?
Not bad, thanks.
Good to have you here, Mr. Long. We'd like to ask you a few questions about your famous Every Man a King speech. Now, this speech was made over a national radio address on February 23rd, 1934, to present your Share the Wealth plan, which was a program designed to spread the nation's wealth among the people, in order to make sure every American had at least decent living conditions.
I hope that I might have the fortitude to praise and honor my government that has allowed me to live here in this land where there is too much to eat and too much to wear, to starve, so that a handful of men may have so much more than they can ever eat or they can ever wear. Now we have organized a society. We call it the Share Our Wealth Society. A society that goes by the motto, every man a king. Every man a king, so that no man or woman may be without the necessities of life, may not be dependent on the whims and caprices and ipsy-dixit of the financial baron. What do we propose to do with such a society? We propose to limit the wealth of the big man in this country.
If you didn't catch all that, here are the basic things you should know about the proposal. First of all, personal fortunes are capped at $50 million each. Also, it limits annual income to $1 million each and inheritances to $5 million each. It guarantees every family an income of $2,000, or about 1/3 of today's national average. It's free college education and vocational training, old age pensions for all people over 60 years of age. There are veterans benefits and health care, a 30-hour work week, a 4-week vacation for every worker, and a greater regulation of commodity production to stabilize prices.
Yes, that's all true. I did it over the radio, the first time it was used specifically to propose a national program, so that the people of the United States of America could hear me and support this endeavor, since the government refuses to deal with the matter.
So, Huey, when did you first become concerned with the common man?
Growing up in New Orleans, there were always people telling me about the corrupt government and things should be different. That's when I asked myself, I know the government tells us we're the greatest country in the world, but is that really true? So I had come to the Senate with only one project in mind, that I might do something to spread the wealth of this land among all the people.
Could you first take us through what inspired you to make this speech?
Of course. As many of my listeners know, my program, Share the Wealth, is from a speech made by 1896 Democratic presidential candidate William Jennings Bryan. Specifically, it is used from his Cross of Gold speech he made at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago at the time. Although it was supposed to denounce the use of gold as the monetary standard, it also portrayed him as a common man and a friend of the poor people. In fact, here's one of my favorite quotes from the speech. Upon which side will the Democratic Party fight? Upon the side of the idle holders of idle capital, or upon the struggling masses? That is the question which the party must answer first. And then it must be answered by each individual hereafter. The sympathies of the Democratic Party, as shown by the platform, are on the side of the struggling masses, who have ever been the foundation of the Democratic Party. I love this quote, because it shows the alliance between his party and the common people. I try to emulate Bryan's style, of both speech and in his personality. I'm a friend and leader of the common people, and I try to make my speeches energetic and entertaining like Bryan. not boring and monotone like some of those conservative politicians. He is the model politician to me, both active in his speeches and believing in them. Wouldn't you all gentlemen agree that I give some enthusiastic speeches?
That you do, Mr. Long.
Very true.
Sorry, Huey.
I appreciate that.
So, also, there's, that brings me to a question that I have in my head. Some suspect that FDR takes you as a threat to the country and his New Deal. What's your response to this?
Whew, if there's one man that really deals my pickle, it's that window-licking Frank Roosevelt. He is stealing my policies. I heard he's talking a little sugar honey iced tea about me.
Just a little bit.
And I got half a mind to run against the next election.
It's okay. It's okay. A quick word from our sponsors. Welcome back, Hugh.
Thank you.
Are you good now?
Just fine, thanks.
So, anyways, before this interview ends, do you have anything to say directly to the American people?
Yes, I do, Ethan. Our mighty Declaration of Independence says that all men are created equal, and our Constitution guarantees we have the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. America cannot say it has achieved this because just a few wealthy have these rights and the rest are suffering, especially the poor. They do not enjoy these rights. We as Americans must help these people. The right to life, liberty, and happiness is a privilege, and it cannot and should not be enjoyed by just a few at the expense of many. Now, I plan to run for the 1936 election, and I promise to implement my Share the Wealth program in order to help the poor rise from their ashes and back to where they belong. I'll make sure my government, elected by the people, will work for the people. Now, I'll end my interview with a single sentence from the Bible, Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 19. The profit of the earth is for all. Keep on organizing your Share the Wealth societies and continue to write to your senators and representatives to demand change now. I count on you. America counts on you. Thank you all for listening, and I hope to see you soon.
Oh, I mean, people, give it up for Huey Long.
There you go for having
And
me.
I wish you the best of luck in your presidential election.
See you soon, America.
See you soon.